Listen, everyone keeps telling me they need more seat time. We just gotta get it done. We need more dates! Hello, Luxury Drift.
Yo, what's going on? It's Bear.
What's going on, Bear?
You get that schedule yet, dude? I'm trying to drift.
Yeah, why don't you come down? They're actually, I just got a phone with them. They should be sending it over, and we can go from there. Cool. See you then.
You've got mail.
Yo.
Yo, what's going on,
dude?
Not much.
You got the schedule or what?
I got it. Right here. So why are we doing this, right? We want to do... Go ahead.
I think everyone has questions. Everyone's always asking questions. A lot of times people are asking the same questions over and over again, but they're doing it through like a DM or whatever, so not everyone can see the answer to it. So the best way to reach out to everyone is going to be a video like this. You know, most of the people, at least that have the questions, are probably going to watch it because we're going to post these videos on Instagram, whatnot, and they'll be able to see.
And people really don't know where to find the answers to these questions.
Yeah.
So we figured we did the ask everybody these questions. We got a good amount of responses, and let's get right into it.
Are dogs allowed?
Last I checked on Thompson's website, dogs are not allowed. The only thing I do ask, if you do bring a dog, I really hope you pick up after it. Are you going to play the audio of him asking the question?
It's just gonna be like, I'm just gonna play it like you're actually doing.
That goes off at the worst time every time.
I thought you were gonna cut and go poo poo.
Are open face helmets allowed?
As long as it's not like what those guys in California wear.
Can you elaborate?
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Look at Super Mario Brothers.
I'm gonna actually answer the question because like this is gonna actually try to be informative. So it has to be an actual like helmet, like SA approved helmet. It can be open face, it can be whatever. It just can't be some like crazy sparkly eBay special.
This is a good question.
Okay.
First time drifting this year, what should I do to make my first event the easiest and best it could be?
I'll probably answer that instead of you because he's actually the worst person to prepare for events at all, except for the actual events themselves. Car preparation, he is the worst. So I would say the best way to prepare yourself to have a good, solid event is really start as early as you can. Drive your car around, make sure everything's good, make sure nothing leaks on it. Make sure all your suspension is tight. The biggest thing I see tech in cars is just loose parts from people slapping their stuff together, night before the event, which some people do and whatever. But just make sure your car works and everything is good. And make sure you have spare tires if you think you're going to go through a lot of them, if you have a decent powered car. And make sure you have the required safety gear and actually show up to a driver's meeting.
I would not overbuild your car. It's your first event, just whatever it is, 350Z, BMW, 240. Don't worry about swapping everything, anything. Make sure you have decent tires, good air pressure in your tires, and you want to be focused on sitting in your seat, right? Good. You don't want to, you don't want a sloppy seat belt, stuff like that, because that mentally is going to fuck with you when you're trying to drive. And ask the guy sending cars for tips.
I would say like one of the biggest things too is like drifting is as cheap or as expensive as you want it to be. There's plenty of people that show up in stock cars and they drive all day long on the same set of tires because they only have like 150 horsepower, so they're not going through tires like crazy. And they just constantly are driving, constantly getting that seat time, and those people have a smile on their face at all times. Building a car is stressful. You don't need to do that. If that's what you want to do, you want to build some crazy car, then sure, do it. But if you're just getting into it, you're going to fall into that trap of spending all the money and not
enjoying
enjoying the car,
Yeah.
which is the whole point of it.
Any advice for someone fiercely looking to get into drifting?
I
Do it.
think we kind of
Just do it.
Yeah, we kind of answered that before, but
No, like if you want to drift and you're like seriously about it, and just do it.
seat time. Don't overbuild your car.
Yeah.
Um,
Get a car and drive.
Yeah.
Buy like a 350Z because they're dirt cheap now and they run forever.
yeah.
And they're sick right out of the box. Like stock, they're awesome.
E46s are kind of cheap. You need a little bit of work,
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
subframe mounts and stuff.
Yeah.
But, Rob, what's
Regardless,
You like
just
Miatas?
like no, don't trash the Miata.
Volvo 240, man. 350Z is so ugly.
It is. That is the only drawback of 350Z.
Well,
Is
and muffler.
it's
It's
like,
not that heavy.
yeah. Oh yeah.
It's
So,
a box with wheels.
yeah, if
Pretty
you
sick.
drive a
A 350Z is almost like, in my mind, cheat code.
It is.
You know,
It's
video
so
games.
easy to drive a 350Z, and it's very beginner friendly.
Yeah.
for sure. With like very minimal, if
Don't
not
overbuild
any
it.
mods.
Just don't overbuild it.
Yeah, just
Just
drive.
focus on
Get
it,
get
drive
anything rear-wheel drive with the manual transmission, and just drive.
You need to outdrive your car. You need to be so bored, you can do any line you want, then you focus on it,
Yeah.
on building the car.
And what are common things people overlook tech-wise for a car that is entering to drift?
Really, it's basic stuff. Usually, the main things that I fail cars for is just loose nuts or bolts or whatever. S13s, it's almost always where the coilover bolts in the knuckle. Almost always they're loose. That tie rods, stuff like that. I mean, if you've done any suspension work on your car, it doesn't hurt to just check it the night before, make sure everything's tight, because things do come loose. But other than
Yeah,
that,
I see people forget their heat shields for their brake booster or reservoir master cylinder.
Yep.
Battery tie downs, belts don't count. You know,
Realistically, unless you relocated your battery, I would almost recommend you almost always use a stock setup for a battery hold down because it's like almost always the best solution.
yeah.
There's no need to reinvent the wheel, but
Yeah.
you know.
And if you did relocate it, you know, you could go to Jegs and buy an actual battery tie down that you weld to the chassis,
Yeah.
bolt to the chassis. I think some clubs require a plastic box and everything. Stuff in your car, floor mats, wrenches. You know,
Yeah.
if you're coming through tech, that car's gonna be gutted. You know, take everything out of there.
Yeah.
We don't. You know, it's gotta be ready to be teched.
Yeah. Another thing I would say is just leaks. Just give the car a once over. Make sure nothing's leaking. A lot of times it's a simple fix. It's a hose clamp, loose hose clamp, or
Yeah.
it's the valve cover gasket or whatever the case may be. Just make sure you don't have any leaks. Sorry.
Firewalls for fuel cells, question.
Yes.
Yeah, have to have
Whether you're-
anything,
yeah.
coolant line, anything that goes inside the car, any line that holds any type of fluid or anything in the car needs to be sealed off from the driver's compartment.
Yeah.
You cannot have just an open fuel cell sitting in the back. It's got to be, should ideally be a firewall, and actually a firewall is a requirement for top drift.
Yeah, top drift and you wouldn't be able fuel cell. You wouldn't be able to pass tech for street drift. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Why are y'all so rad?
I don't think we are. I think the drivers is what makes the events rad, to be completely honest with you.
Seriously.
We just want to have fun with everyone.
people know me. I'm not rat. I'm a miserable old man.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Will the first event be on the skid pad or the track?
First event, March 16th, skid pad. And we are gonna do the hairpin layout.
My favorite layout.
Oh yeah.
The best layout.
So this video has to be out before that.
Yeah, Rob. I thought it was be done tomorrow.
Tomorrow! Looks like Rob's calling out tomorrow.
Sorry, dude.
When's a good time to show up on opening day?
So I don't know if that question applies to a spectator or a driver. So if it's a driver, the gate's open for 7:30. Driver's meeting's at 8:55. Ideally, get your car teched before then. Spectator, we start driving around 9, 10. After driver's meetings, when we start, we say we start driving at 9, but people are typically
It doesn't always work out because
Yeah.
people show up late and whatever. Yeah.
myself included.
Why is being at a driver's meeting on time important?
Well, because we tell you about the day. We tell you where you can go, where you can't go, what our plans are, where you could get information like run group times and
I would say one of the most important things of being on time at the drivers meeting is we answer almost all these questions that are probably going to be asked during this video in a drivers meeting.
True.
And you can also ask anyone there questions.
We do offer a second meeting for those who are late. We request that you guys, shoot us a message and let us know. But we talk about the safety requirements. We ensure that you guys went through tech. What to do if there's an emergency, like leaking oil. If your car's on fire,
On-track etiquette.
Yeah, on-track etiquette, pit etiquette. Thompson. There's a lot of one-way areas. And stuff like that, information. That's why you got to go to driver's meeting.
Where will you be having some of your events?
Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park.
How many night events are this year?
Let me check the schedule. Night events, 4. We got, I think it's 2 Fridays and 2 Saturdays.
Could we clarify road course days and what the requirements are for the new drift categories?
Okay, go back to the schedule. Road course days. We have 4 road course days, and then an additional 5 competitions on the road course. So, 9.
Well, and I don't know, what do they mean by the competition? If you mean
Yeah,
by the
new
competitions, then...
What are the requirements? Like the tech requirements?
Yeah.
So they're on our website. We have 2 different... Well, I guess we haven't said it and mentioned it in the video yet. We really didn't cover upcoming season.
What was your intention with the Street Series competition that you've put together?
Street style cars, minimal mods, not some crazy build, minimal mods, max seat time. It's going to really show who the best, most skilled drivers are, because you can drive pretty
So the good thing about the Street Series is it's going to be held on Sundays at the same time as Thompson's circle track events. So they're a NASCAR crowd that modifies the...
It's actually pretty cool if you haven't been to one of those. So
yeah,
it's fun to watch.
It is going to be cool, but multiple types of crowds there, so that should be interesting.
So what makes New England Top Drift different than Street Series?
New England Top Drift is for those who aspire to be more at the Pro-Am level. The rule book is based off of FD. We are not a sanctioned body. We are not a point series for FD, but we basically modeled it after that type of competition. We have several judges lined up. We have a couple good guest judges.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
Would be pretty cool. So those are going to be more FD spec cars, and
that's going to be your big power stuff, and crazy
heavily modified.
angle, like crazy modified cars, and that style of stuff. The Street Series is for mildly modified cars, stock engines. It's really going to show you who the best drivers are, the most skilled drivers, because they're not having these crazy horsepower cars to kind of aid in their driving. At least it's going to really, I think, to be honest with you, the Street Series is going to have some really good driving. So,
and I'm pumped. We worked with the track, Thompson Motor Speedway, to create this ginormous schedule, right? To offer something for everybody. We have all the grassroots dates. We didn't lose any grassroots dates. We have the top New England Top Drift competition. We have the Street Series. There's 3 different styles of drifting.
Yeah, sure.
And
something
Thompson really took grasp and let us offer a schedule for everybody.
Top Drift entry fees and banner/door sticker prices.
So Top Drift entry fee, I think it's gonna be around $250. It's part of that is going to a purse prize, depending on how many drivers enter. X amount of dollars will be given away to first, second, and third, and then X amount of dollars will be set aside for the end of the season. The championship winner of points will get. I don't know how much it is yet, but expect to be around $250. For the banners and door markers, We're still getting quotes on that stuff.
Check the computer, see if the prices came in.
Yeah, no emails. But I got a fax. We're still getting quotes on that stuff. We do know it's going to come with the banner and 2 sets of door cards. That's so, you have to take the door cards out for some reason, run for a different series. Also, because if you have to buy another one because you have to take it off for a different series or something like that, it won't be the initial price. The initial price is going to have other stuff built into it to cover other costs associated with all that.
Most popular question was, where did the name Lock City come from?
We were shooting the shit.
Yeah, I guess.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Mike. I'm gonna bleep that out.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So
Go
we
ahead.
started in 2012 in Hartford, parking lot in Hartford, Connecticut.
Right off the side of the highway, like literally you can see the
off-
parking lot off the highway.
There's a video of state DOT workers
Yeah, filming,
with their big
drifting.
orange trucks filming
Yeah,
from
they
the
loved
highway.
it, all about it.
There was dirt bikes running across the walk. There's a walkway that goes over the highway.
Yeah.
Because we were pretty close to like the heartbeat of Harvard.
Elaborate, please elaborate.
No, just don't elaborate at all on that.
But it was really cool. So when we were renting a parking lot, we were trying to come up with names. I initially had the name of like New England Drifting Association. That's not a
a
name.
lot of dumb stuff.
We had a lot of dumb stuff.
Not that I mean.
But New England Drifting Association was good to go to a venue with. So the autocross kind of sound has that name, and but we were trying to think of names, and we figured it was a city. And I think one of us were googling,
Yeah, we were just
googling historical names.
for Hartford area cities
Yeah,
or
but
something.
I
And
think
like
that-
Lock City was like a pretty local.
Yeah, I think
I
it's
mean-
not Stanford or Stratford.
Nah,
But
I
there's
mean,
a city
it's-
in Connecticut that is known for making locks. They had a lot of lock mills.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, how cool would that be to have that as Hartford's name? The parking lot in Hartford, because of you're at Full Lock or whatever play on words, and
Yeah. Guess it just stuck.
it just stuck. Yeah.
Yeah. Either that or we were just sick of talking about what to name
Name.
it. So
Yeah.
probably more so that.
Yep.
Do I need to bring anything else besides a camera and tripod? Oh, do you need to bring?
That was my question, dude.
Low expectations.
Yeah,
Next question. Will Ryan, Turk, or any other pros be at the events?
I have no idea. I can't predict the future.
Yeah. I mean, they
I think they're
kinda,
always
if they want to
welcome.
come, they'll
Yeah,
ask.
they
and,
know, yeah.
That's it. Yeah. I mean, we definitely encourage it. Anyone
That'd be
wants to
sick.
look
I
it
hope
up.
so.
Yeah.
Truly.
What are some of the builds you're looking forward to seeing this year?
I know this dude Dan, who got in an accident at the end of the season with Nick, and Dan has been doing work.
Yeah, some
so-
serious. And he's
Yeah.
like never really done this work
Any
before,
of-
so it's
yeah.
cool because he's just going crazy and doing all that and
It's not
all
just
the body
fixing.
work.
Yeah, not just fixing. Like he's, making a brick. Listen, it's a Volvo, guys. A brick look even cooler. He's shaving stuff, doing this, doing that. What about you? What build are you looking to do?
We're gonna have to wait until he comes in.
Why, he's supposed to come in?
Dan is literally walking in from the package store. And Shabby's all nervous about the door. Fucking
Dude,
Shabby.
you should burn all the heat out. Jesus Christ.
Alright, what build are you looking forward to?
I'm definitely excited to see Dan's car because I know how much work he's put into it. And if you guys don't know Dan's car, it's super mild. It's slow. The thing makes no power, and he shreds this thing. And it's a Volvo, so it's cool to see because you watch him drive that thing, and there's not many people that could probably drive that car like that. He's
And we convinced him to
fun
make
to
it
watch.
cooler.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a lot cooler this year for sure.
It's a
And,
sneaker prize.
Not a free plug, but I'm also looking forward to this guy's car.
Nah.
Yeah, we'll just wait.
Scrap it.
He likes to keep it under the sheets.
Guys, that
but-
looks so sweet.
Dan, what's going on?
Any other cars?
I'm definitely looking forward to Bobby Beck's car. He's been doing work on that thing, and like I mean the car was already pretty nice, but he's just been going through the whole thing, like doing a ton of stuff on it, and he's honestly one of the most consistent drivers out there.
True.
Super fun to watch. He'll drive with anyone. He adapts to like any style, so it's always fun to watch him drive. And you know the car should definitely be even cooler than it was before this year. Other than that, I guess on the Bobby train we got Bobby G too.
Bobby G, yeah.
He's got
KA.
he's got the KA car that he's been doing body work on and body work and paint. And I was actually over there not too long ago, and the SC300 has an engine in it, big single, all that stuff. So he's definitely putting in work. I mean, building 2 cars I can barely even build 1 car, you know.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, you know, to
I
do
don't
2
build
like
cars.
seriously like props. So that's gonna be pretty cool too.
Turbo Mike has got, I think it's that R Beat car. You know, he had it like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
He's resurrected that car. I like the big, nice noises there. Oh, Jay Sear. Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
this guy, you
Yeah.
have to say JC every year because
Yeah.
like the car just, you know, Jay just doesn't sleep. I feel like he just works on that car and that's it. And it's, you know, it's the sickest like ever. And now it's fresh, super fresh paint and even crazier stuff than before. So
Tyler Senecal, he's got that Cressida. He did a whole new chassis this year. New Cressida, same thing.
that's cool.
1J swap, all that stuff.
There's also one guy I don't know. I apologize. I don't actually know who he is because I just saw it like looking at Instagram one day, and he has a JZX90, and he's like posting about events and stuff like that. He's
Black
like
one?
really it's black
Yeah, I
JZX90.
just saw that today.
Yeah, really he's like
Yeah.
really excited for events. And it's a pretty cool car. So I love seeing. I mean I don't know if he's ever driven an event before because I didn't really look at his like you know Instagram or anything like that, but. It's cool to see people excited about events and you know going through their cars and making sure they're prepped because I mean I haven't done any of that so it's,
Right.
yeah it's awesome to see people excited.
Is this your phone?
Yeah.
Alright, you're gonna have to log me into the
Go ahead.
questions. My phone lost service.
I definitely have one more thing to say about cars. So we were talking about Dan.
Yeah.
with the Volvo. Been putting in like crazy amounts of work over the winter, and Nick Nikolov has not done anything at all, and the car is still totaled. So
And
I'm
Rob-
pretty disappointed in you.
Our media guy Rob, he is going to insert a clip of the cars banged. You'll see the damage.
He will insert it right here. Right
Yeah.
We actually have a question that asks, did Nick Nikoloff fix his car?
here. Yeah. Well, no.
Insert Nick Nickloff.
No.
Cricket.
Well, so
Cricket.
to so to whoever asked that question, if you saw how it looked at Thompson when it was crashed, it looks identical but with more mold in the interior from sitting in his.
And it's
garage.
not on the trailer anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not in the trailer. Yeah, it's in the garage actually, but yeah. It
How long
looks,
did it take him to take it off the trailer?
he probably just did it the other day. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah. But good question. Very good question.
How old do you have to be to drive? I am 14 and can possibly split a car. Could that work?
Unfortunately, no. Either 18. That's my rule. 18. You know.
I'm psyched that people are into it that young,
Yeah.
and if you really want to do it, I would probably suggest if you do have the means to get one and start messing around with it, do it, and you know learn how to
Yeah.
work on the car and stuff like that because you're gonna need to work.
I know all the clubs let you have drive at 16 projects.
The fuck off! Trying to do a video in here.
Whose is that?
Dan's.
Dan.
Dan,
They were
what
gonna
the?
call the cops, dude.
What kind of fucking
Are all events open to the public?
Yes.
Here's one. How does a fella get a ride along?
Ask. Make sure you have a proper helmet.
Ask, but
What?
the biggest issue I see is people ask the first person in line ready to go. So go at least 5 cars back because a lot of times you're asking people, you know, in a group that are driving with 3 or 4 cars. So ask 5 cars at least back, so you're not holding up anyone in line or anything like that. But
I would actually suggest ask somebody in the pits, hey, can I go for a ride along? Because we don't. A lot of people, especially C group, they don't really need a ride along, somebody in the car because you're going to distract them. But if a person doesn't have someone in the car, they might not want somebody in the car. Then I know personally, if people ask me for a ride along, at times I felt obligated.
yeah.
Like also on the skid pad, depending on what you're sending cars, we don't want people on that side of the track.
True.
Are you anticipating a lot of C group entries this year?
We get more and more every year.
Yeah, C group's the
it's
most
awesome.
popular group.
Yeah.
So within
We
5
have
days.
Cinco de Clinica on May 4th this year. That is kind of going to be open to mostly C group, A, B group. We could probably work something out for them to work on, but it is going to be on a skid pad. And that is C group orientated.
Yeah.
Do you need a license to run?
You mean like a driver's license or like a Lock City license? No.
We don't have like Lock City licenses, but
Yeah.
are we still asking questions?
want it
I don't
now?
know what we're
No,
doing.
we gotta find an ending now.
Oh, maybe Mike should just be like 5 papers and you just be like.
I knew it was gonna be so dumb.
Well, yeah, because you have like that
Yeah,
filing
but that was
thing
the
in the
point.
back.
The opening scene was dumb. That's the whole point of this. Where it's
Like,
like
comment,
a dumb
subscribe.
video. Like, comment, subscribe,
This-
swipe up, swipe up.
That should actually be the end of the video. The whole point of this video is that it's dumb. That should be the end
Yeah,
of the
maybe-
video.